Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a blessed Sunday. And in the news this morning, motor vehicle accident claims life of senior citizen in St. Mary. A motor vehicle accident along the Belfield Main Road in St. Mary has left a senior citizen dead and 5 other persons nursing injuries. Reports are that the driver of a gray Toyota Corolla motor car was traveling in an easterly direction along the Belfield Main Road. When on reaching the vicinity of the Happy Hour Early Childhood School, he lost the control of the vehicle and overturned into a gully. The incident happened around 3:43 a.m. on Saturday, June 29. It is reported that one of 6 passengers, 61-year-old Ron Brown of the community, was seen lying motionless. All occupants were taken to the Anota Bay Hospital, where Brown was pronounced dead. The other 5 occupants were treated for their injuries and are said to be in stable condition. Man charged almost 2 years after Kingston shooting. A man was arrested and charged on Friday, almost 2 years after he was accused of shooting another on Hannah Street in Kingston. The shooting took place on Monday, November 7, 2022. Charged with wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition is Rashid Bonito, otherwise called the Dude and the Swift, a maintenance worker from Slide Pen Road in the parish. Reports are that around 10 p.m., the complainant was walking along the mentioned roadway when he was pounced upon by a group of men, all armed with firearms. The men, the police said, opened a gunfire at the complainant, hitting him in the upper body. The gunmen made their escape on foot in the area. Residents assisted the injured man to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was treated and subsequently released. The scene was processed and 10 spent casings recovered, the police said. Bonito was apprehended by the police on Friday and a warrant executed. He was charged based on witness statements implicating him. No court date has been given for the accused as yet. Illegal gun found in burnt-out home in Kingston. An illegal firearm was found in a burnt-out home on Unity Lane in Rosestown, Kingston 13 on Friday. The firearm was seized after the Kingston Western Police conducted a search of the razed dwelling. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure, the police said. Reports reaching the news are that around 11:30 a.m., a police team carried out a targeted raid at the premises. During a search, a black P80 pistol with an empty magazine was found beneath a sheet of zinc. The firearm, the police said, was processed, packaged and labeled for ballistic examination. Holness cautions Jamaicans to prepare for approaching Hurricane Beryl. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is encouraging Jamaicans to stay alert and take the necessary actions to prepare for Hurricane Beryl, which is expected to impact the island by Wednesday of this week. The Prime Minister issued the warning while speaking at the St. Andrews South Community Consultative Conference at the Pembroke Hall High School auditorium on Saturday. Addressing the audience, Holness noted that various models have projected that Beryl, which has now developed into a hurricane, will possibly cause adverse weather conditions across the island. We expect that by Wednesday morning, we will be experiencing such conditions. The relevant agencies will put out the necessary warnings as the system develops. I am merely giving you advanced warning, Holness said. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica earlier said that initial forecasts indicate that the center could pass over 150 miles away from the country's coastline. The latest update from the National Hurricane Center added that Beryl is expected to become a dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the Windward Islands late Sunday night or Monday, bringing destructive hurricane-force winds and a life-threatening storm surge. I am encouraging all Jamaicans to get your precautionary stocks in place, your stocks of food, your batteries and the candles, a supply of water just in case, and ensure that your critical documents are secure. If there are any trees or other things that could be of danger to your property, please ensure that you take necessary actions to secure those items and to secure your property as well, the Prime Minister warned. It is always in your best interest to be prepared, and if the weather event passes and there is no impact, you would have lost nothing, but you do not want that impact to occur and you did not prepare for it. It is better to be prepared than to be sorry that you didn't prepare, so I encourage all Jamaicans to take the necessary steps, he continued, adding that we are now in the hurricane season, so such steps should have already been taken. Holness said the government, through the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, the Jamaica Defense Force, and other agencies, is already on alert, mobilized and prepared for any potential impact. Police is more than just the GCF, says SSP Manderson. Head of the St. Andrew South Police, Acting Senior Superintendent Damon Manderson, says that policing is more than just the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the uniformed bodies of government. SSP Manderson, speaking at the St. Andrew South Police District Consultative Committee Conference, told the stakeholders that the policing was about citizen engagement and support. The conference, a partnership between the St. Andrew South Police District Consultative Committee and several stakeholders, was held Saturday at the Pembroke Hall High School Auditorium under the theme Bridging the Gap Between Police and the Citizens. In St. Andrew South, we value our stakeholders, their oversight, accountability, partnership, engagement and support in creating safer communities, Manderson told a packed auditorium. We stand with our stakeholders. We can count on them and they can count on us. That's a partnership at its finest. He said his division will continue to build partnerships for safer communities as citizen security is a collective effort achieved through cooperation. Attending the conference were several government representatives, including Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Custos of St. Andrew Ian Forbes, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Southwest, and a host of other officials. Pastor Patrick Jordan led the St. Andrew South Police District Consultative Committee, which along with civil society organizations, private entities, and academia, forged a partnership of community development consultative activities. These activities include consulting with stakeholders and their representatives, providing relevant information on health and safety issues, encouraging feedback, and working together to implement effective safety measures. JLP and the PNP Revengin for general election. Senior members of Jamaica's two main political parties say they are treating their respective upcoming annual conference seasons as the last major internal mass mobilization efforts before the next general elections. The next parliamentary polls are due by September 2025. The ruling Jamaica Labour Party customarily holds its conference in November, while the opposition People's National Party usually hosts its event in September. The upcoming conferences will be the first since the overdue local government elections were finally held in February, with the PNP seen by many pundits as overperforming, while the JLP lost some shine. But as the Holness administration wraps up its fourth year in this term, the political temperature is escalating as the time winds down to be announced polls. The PNP conference is in September, and the JLP conference in November would see the PNP mobilizing ahead of the JLP Treasurer Darrell Vaz noted last week. The JLP obviously does not want to lose the space to the PNP. The JLP had its Area Council 1 meeting last week, so expected to see both the parties staying on the ground, but as you know, the winner comes from organization. Therefore, the government needs to transition from governance to governance and politics, Vaz told the news. In terms of an election, only the Prime Minister can call that, but from my perspective, as a seasoned politician, as a member of Parliament for 4 terms, I am fully in gear in getting my constituency and the parish of Portland ready for an election anytime from the last quarter of 2024 to September 2025. But I think we need to tone down the personal attacks on one another and campaign on the plans, issues and the programs, the Portland Western MP said. PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell said that the PNP knows this is an election conference. Yes, for us, this is the last conference before the elections, barring any unforeseen issues. So we do know that this is our last conference before the general election, which we don't believe will go into the summer of 2025 either. This is it. It's both our and their last before the elections, Campbell said on Friday. He said the party has been systematic in its approach to the conference season and the election campaigning. We think that the elections are less than a year away, and we expect to have a very good conference for which we have started planning. The comrades are going to be in high energy and are going to be out in their numbers. This year we will be having it early, said the General Secretary, noting that Sunday, September 15 is being eyed for the public session. We are in the conference season. We are at the tail end of the divisional conferences, after which we will go to the constituencies in July and August and finish with the annual conference in September. The party has been working on its strategies towards the conference and election, said Campbell, likening the strategy to building a house. Leading up to the local government election, opinion polls had put both the JLP and the PNP in a statistical dead heat. We had to lay a foundation. We had to build a building, then complete the roof, and then the fittings, after which you sweep out the house and get ready to move in. We are at the stage of fine-tuning our proposals, and we have to pivot to show the difference between a PNP and the JLP government, holding them accountable for failures, he stated. Opposition Senator Damian Crawford also agrees. By natural design, they are going into election conferences when you look at the proximity of the due date for the election. It is a different approach if you think the election is 11 months away versus 3 months away. On the other hand, the political temperature that I am seeing now cannot be sustained for much longer, Crawford said on Friday. According to him, the PNP has to be campaigning in preparation for the announcement. So what I am seeing suggests to me that the government are seeking a window anytime soon because we have a responsibility to be prepared. The PNP will have to be in constant campaign because it does not have the ability to tell whether it is tomorrow or June. And you don't want to predict June and it's tomorrow, he told the news. He expects to see increased support for the PNP, which he would like to see translated in a larger conference. The JLP, he said, would have to respond because numbers count. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.